asking, we want to see him naked eyes. Tangible God. Hazrat Musa is much more. He is Arif, he is beyond Arif. He is Ulul Azm. What he is saying, Allah, let me go down. Rabbi shrah li sadri means let me go down. Go down to the level of my audience so that when I speak, I do not speak my language, I speak their language. That is the meaning of Rabbi shrah. Let me go down. So I am teaching KG Junior. Some of the teachers, they don't like lower grades. I am facing 17. But I love to teach 5-year-old because it's a Naqsh bar Hajar. So that is the time it can stay, it's the line in the stone. It cannot be removed. So I think instead of higher, I love to teach the lower. There are plain papers, we can write whatever we want. Thoughtful meaning is, number one, sincerity has to be there. Number two, he or should be broad-chested. Take so many kids, there are kids, they enjoy doing masti. You know, that is their life. So we need to give room for that masti also. Let them play. But we should not that much kid, you cannot control the class. That's also not good. I will give an example of thoughtfulness. For example, I am teaching Najasat. It is an example only. And I hope teachers can expand it, do it a lot of work. Can I ask one simple question? How many of us, being teachers, give time to be there in the classroom? Before you enter classroom, how much work you do to prepare yourself? Do we prepare ourselves? Of course, we are preparing, but how much we prepare? What, 1 hour for 1 hour? 2 hours for 1 hour? 3 hours for 1 hour? 4 hours for 1 hour? You know, an alim who presents one majlis, how many hours you think? If it is a productive majlis. Otherwise, how much, mashallah, you know, he does nothing. One of the scholars has, they said, at least you need to do 8 hours of work to present 1 hour majlis. Research, valuable work to present 1 hour majlis. It is 80 hours of labor is equal to 1 majlis. It is. I will give an example. For example, while I'm teaching Najasat, I say urine, stool, etc., etc. Then I come to dog and pig. If a student asks us, I heard in the Quran, I read in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never created anything in vain. If anything has not been created in vain, why dog and pig is najis? Allah has created everything with a purpose. So why dog and pigs are najis? What is the answer? So we have to give the understanding not to teach hatred towards even dogs, toward pigs. They are also created for the purpose. Nowadays they say some of the parts of pigs are much more closer to human being. To adapt, for example, heart arteries, when they change, they say best artery is the pig's artery. All right, is najis. Why it is najis? You can say so many reasons. One of the reasons a dog is najis is pesticides of the dog, the impact of the dog, the saliva of the dog. We have to do a lot of research. But at the same time, we have shikari kutta, a hunting dog. We have rules. When a hunter sends a dog for hunting, and he brings that is halal. So there is a rules for this Sharia. So that means while I am teaching same najasat, I am not leaving room to have doubt about the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is one of the example. As likewise, pig, even dog, can a guarding dog. Again, you can give example of dog of a mu'minine Ashab Kahf. Why dog is presented there? Now people are researched and came to the conclusion a dog could be good companion for a blind person, a guide for that same dog. So we have to, when you teach najasat, we have to be very, very careful not to leave room doubt about Islam itself. So brain of a student is brain, and we have to leave a lot of good open venue so that they can grow and they should be a good Muslims while they are learning also. I'll ask another thing while I'm teaching is najasat. This is an example only. I don't want to indulge that because I'm not teaching najasat. How many kinds of, for example, which animal's flesh or meat is haram? Question, which animals? So we have to give the example. How many kinds of animals? Blood gush, I said BG, NBG. Non-blood gush. What is blood gush? When you slaughter animal, blood gushes out. That is called blood gush. Example of blood gush is goat and cow and etc. Non-blood gush is snake, maybe other, reptiles. Then blood gush, halal meat, haram meat. Non-blood gush, halal meat and haram meat. So now how many kinds of animal now? 4 kinds of animal. Blood gush, halal meat, blood gush, haram meat. Blood gush, non-blood gush, halal meat, non-blood gush, haram meat. Which of these 4 kinds of animals is urine and stool and etc. is najis? It's not all 4 are najis. Blood gush, haram meat only. So cow's urine is not najis. You know this? It is kasif. It's not najis. It is kasif. You cannot drink. It is haram. But the Hindus, they do drink. The God's milk. But when we read this, I am giving a little bit room for students so that they could not have any hatred towards any people, those who are out. For example, my childhood, those who lived, still they are living in their villages. They use the refusal of cows as the source of fuel. So is it najis? No, not najis. You can touch it, but you have to wash, of course. It is natural. The point is you have to be thoughtful. Any subject you take. For example, history, I will give you history. History is a very boring subject. Every teacher is ready to teach anything but not history. But bring me to me, inshallah, I will make it much more interesting. Because history we want to read like line by line. No, it cannot work. First, you pick up the heroes and villains of the history and make the list of those heroes and villains of the history. And then second is place and timings of that heroes and then you make it. So teachers should be thoughtful, any subject you are teaching can become very interesting. And it can be loving, so loving. Next Sunday, a student has to run towards your class. Many a times people used to ask, Maulana, kuch aap rishwat dete hain? Why kids they want to come to you? I don't do any rishwat. They thought maybe Thursday, Sunday, bring some chocolates or something every day. No, I don't have anything but my money. I try to be very friendly with them, smiling, joking. First time, once I enter, I used to talk with the guys. This week, who won the game? Who won the game? For example, the soccer, or maybe ice hockey. 5 minutes, what I'm doing this, why I'm doing it. I am breaking the point that I am nothing but one amongst you. So the student becomes very close to that teacher. So don't ever, I am the teacher, be serious. No way. Prophet Moses was very humorous, you know that. Imam Ali, one of the things they didn't like Imam Ali, they say we could have accepted him as Khalif. He is knowledgeable, but he jokes around a lot. So one of the complaints they had is he jokes around a lot. So humor is part of the teaching system. So the pain of learning eases the learning process. So that's why teachers should be thoughtful. Number 2 is E. What could be E? Enthusiastic. Can more? Energetic. Say nothing wrong, all of you are right. Huh? Entertaining, yeah. Okay. All of I, E are equal to or right. I'm not denying nothing. But when I say something, I have to approve behind me. I am teaching, I should be educated. What I'm teaching, I don't know. How can I teach? I should know what I'm teaching. Isn't it? Even alif zabar a, be zabar ba, alif ba ta tha. So in Urdu we say alif be te se. If I am teaching same alif be te se, I'm not teaching alif be te se in Arabic. I have to teach alif ba ta tha. And from there I have to teach. My daughter says, Kad kamati salat. Huh? What happened to you? Kad kamati salat. You every day listening here, Qad qamati salat, because one Sunday, only one Sunday, one class can change her mind so much. We think teaching is it is so effective. It can change poison of 7 days. Believe me. 7 days of class of the others is 1 hour of class of religious classes can change entire system. So that Kad Kamat Salaf came from where? From there, from teacher. The Tha cannot pronounce because that's why I request all of you in Sunday Madrasa, please do not let an Arabic teacher should be Arab at least or not if they have to know tajweed of the letters. If not, you are making a big mistake. That mistake stays forever. Inna a'atayna kal kawthar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Finish. Alhamdulillah. We don't have Alhamdulillah. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. We don't have sirat. We don't have sin, re, alif, te. We don't have. What we read is sirat, this te. We don't have such a word in Arabic. It is sirat. So where we have to start? From KG Junior, from Billy Alif Ba Ta Tha. So we have to be very careful. Administrators have to make sure a teacher who is teaching Arabic has to be educated in, if not, nowadays, alhamdulillah, in Urdu, if you open shiatv.net, it's a beautiful resource. You have 15 lessons of tajweed. And you can learn there. And it is beneficial for yourself and it will be beneficial for others. Teachers should be educated. What should be the A? Approachable, yeah. बोलिए कोई परेशान मत होइए, बोलिए सब. Active, not passive. Yeah. What is A? Attentive. Available. He should be administration. Biggest problem is availability. Yes, of course. He should be available before the class. He should be. Yeah. So because we are teaching Islamic, first of all, I don't believe in secular knowledge and Islamic knowledge. We don't have such a thing. Every knowledge is Islamic. Even science is Islamic. This Shahid Mutari is presented so much. For example, if a student goes to Qom, sole intention is, मैं पढ़ूंगा, I will educate it there, then बेहतरीन मजलिस, लोग हाथों को बोसा देंगे, दुनिया फिरूंगा, I'll go all over the world, oh, people are behind me. That education is secular education, although he is learning in Qom. If a doctor is becoming doctor not for money, but to serve humanity, that education is Islamic. So there is no a religious madrasa, non-religious madrasa. No, we don't have such a thing. Yes, of course, the thing which makes us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is theology. That's why we make it as a religious. So I think the word Allah should be there. What is the value of us? Who am I? What is my value is? Maulana Imam Hussain is a beautiful, in-depth dua of Arafah. Unfortunately, we do cry for Imam Hussain. We don't know who Imam Hussain is. We do love Imam Hussain, Imam Hussain. We don't know majority of us. I am also with you. Malladhi faqadaka ma wajada. Oh my God. He reaches to point. The one who loses you what he has. What is my price? Zero. It's me. I'm zero. I want to give myself a price tag. How can I do? I need to have a number. So make a number. Where should be the zero? Zero should not be on the left. Again zero. Ashabul Yameen, Ashabul Shimal. So I have to be, even in English also it has to be on the right. What is the price? 0, 10. Then you add 2, say it. How much? What is also 100, 1,000. 1 followed by eternity of zeros. Value is increasing. The moment 1 falls, all are zero. That is the meaning of Israel. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا مسلما وما أنا من المشركين. So if in our teachings, in our settings, in our madrasa, in our majalis, Allah is not there, there is no value in that. While I'm teaching, if I'm not here only, I don't know for what I am here. If I am not for Allah, that is 0, 1 hour, 2 hour, 8 hour. So before you leave home, make qurbatan in Allah. So Allah, give me that sincerity. Only I work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then all of your A's are good. Be attentive, or you be attractive. Because clothes should be tidy and smiling always. Not you come there, I don't know. C. G? Cheerful. Yeah. I am entering the class just like when I was sitting, I was thinking, Baqri, if you want to teach a little bit, ठीक है तो मरीज थे, आज तो मरीज नहीं. Be a little bit. Some energy, shows energy. Be cheerful. Maybe a lot of problems are there. I enter in, I love to see so many madrasas in the world. I'm a servant, may Allah accept. I went to one of the village in my province in Karnataka, in India, Mysore state. I went to see one madrasa. The teacher was hating a student. My heart was burning, how should I say? It is not good at that time of action in a classroom to make the teacher as a... When everything is finished, we ate, then I said, so and so, let's go out, I want something from you. There, I said, why did you hate this? Maulana, kya bolu? Upar ka gussa niche utar raha tha. I could not understand what is upar ka niche gussa utar. My house is upstairs. I am fighting with my wife. So that anger is gone. So if I am bringing something from my home and unloading in the classroom, it's not going to work out. So take out all this anger and Allah. I am here. These students, they are clean paper. I can leave some of the prints which is never going to be taken out. I still remember, I don't want to, فَلَا تَزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Quran says not to praise yourself. I am nothing. One day I went in the classroom. This was a white, this is like. I said, what it is? I'm asking you what it is. This is a board, man. How much? 99.999% is board. Why you are looking at this dot? And that shows, listen, people are not going to see what good you have. People are looking at what bad you have. It's a very tough. No one sees 99% 9. Good. Small dot can change entire. So that's why Quran says that taqwa is what? Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, Allahumma salli ala. He says a heart is white. When a person does one sin, there's a black dot. One dot. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, astaghfirullah. What happens there? ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم. What is the remedy for this dot? Quran says, O Prophet, as long as you are there, we are not going to punish humanity. As long you are there. Quranic ayat. As long as you are there, we are not going to punish them. Then he goes. One day everyone has to go. The matter has to go. وَهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. As long as they do istighfar. That one dot can be cleared by doing astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu at-taib min ad-dam kaman la dhanba lahu. A person who does tawbah as if he has made it again clear white. So that astaghfar can change every material, every matter, inshallah. Cheerful. H. Honesty. Sometimes we think I'm being a teacher. Maulana should know everything. No, I don't know nothing. That is wrong. Wrong number. Many a times kids, they come and they ask questions. I don't know. Say it, I don't know. Don't need to say, I am a teacher, I have to know everything. No. I know a little bit about something. If I don't know, tomorrow, next week, I'm going to come and tell you what I don't know. Why I have to know everything? I'm a computer? No, man. I don't have Wi-Fi inside me. Prophets, they had Wi-Fi. They could communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They can reach. I don't have, man, nothing. So be honest to yourself, to the students. Don't ever possess themselves, I know everything. No, I don't know nothing. I'm here. I know a little bit about this subject I'm teaching. So sometimes question comes. As we had a teacher who used to have clean shave. And people came to Maulana, ye to daadi mudata, padhata hai. मैंने कहा, let him teach, man. We have to see what abilities he has. And 10 years before, you never had done it. Today, maybe one day he's going to have. Give him benefit of doubt. Why we have to be? Yes, today he has to. One time I'm doing something wrong. At the same time I'm adamant. Yes, I am right. So one of the students, the students are students. They cheer, they talk, they laugh. While he was talking about halal and haram, said, sir, shaving beard is halal and haram. He said, we don't have in the Quran beard. Look at the devastation. Not only he is harming the Sharia, entire Quran has collapsed. Only to protect the self. Where is honesty? Some of the sisters, they used to go, hijab was just like Malala's hijab. You know Malala's hijab. Imam Khomeini used to say, there shall be two kinds of Islam. One is Islam and Nab Muhammadi, one is Islam Americai. Why Malala is now so much everywhere and she has been given, mashallah. Although with her, two of our sisters have been killed. Another sister, same, she was struggling. They never brought her back because she was fully wearing hijab. So they want to present, we want Islam not like yours, we want ours. So a sister used to go, not that much proper. Again, people came to me, Maulana, kya hai, aapke andar kaam karte hain, ye log aise teach karte hain. I say always, take what the good have. We are not perfect human beings. So maybe that lady could give something which is better for the kids. So I think that is also very being honest also. Even though if, may God forbid, I am outside, maybe not, I am not that much closer to Islam. When I enter in the classroom, I should be a little bit careful because my behavior is affecting the student. Honesty. E. Again, second E. Engaging, yes. Good. Another animal. Say, look, what is E for? Equipped, yeah. Entertaining, yes. I think one of the very important aspects is make it class as entertaining. Why a boring class? I don't know. Religion is boring, man. Maulvi is boring. Majlis is boring. Why it should be boring? It should be entertaining. ऐसा भी नहीं कि मजा आ गया उसके बाद कुछ नहीं सीखे. मौलाना मजलिस में बहुत मजा आ गया. या क्या उमर शरीफ का शो था थोड़ी. मजा आ गया. No, entertainment is much more. That's humor. Adding humor to our teaching is very, very. It has to have that level also. Controlling while you are entertaining the student, you are controlling also. Sometimes I'm teaching. One of the students is talking. Some of the students, you know that they are so mustikhor. What I do first? What should I do? First I look at him, only one glance. That's it. Then I start teaching. Again he does same thing. Second glance is much more longer. I know you are a black sheep man. Then third one is much more longer. And after that, still he is doing masti. I love you so much. Be closer to me here. What I'm doing is now in the classroom, you are the troublemaker, but in a very beautiful manner. This has not been hurt and has not been penalized and not been give any punishment to him. So, but that itself is a punishment. That's what parents think bringing up children. How can I straighten up my child who does a lot of mistakes? Sometimes I have to slap. No, it's not. Slapping is not going to do anything to the child. That's why you need to have lot of patience, lot of watches. And if that is not working, what I have to do? I brought him closer to me. So there are systems. I usually recommend the teachers tags: yellow, then pink, then red. Yellow tag, then pink, then the red. So I give in the hand, this is for your gift. Next week he comes, same masti, he gets pink one. Then the third time he gets the red one. Then we have to call his parents, talk to him, something is bothering him. Not in front of the other students, because we don't want to degrade anyone. Because you know that hurma, how many of us we know hurma? What is hurma? What is Masjidul Haram? Why it is Masjidul Haram? It is from hurma. It's a sanctity. Hurmatul mu'mini afdalu min Kaaba. Allah. Hurmatul mu'mini, sanctity of a believer is greater than Kaaba. Because if Kaaba is broken, we can construct it next time, nothing wrong. But this heart is broken, we cannot do that. So hurma has to be, hurmat of the students has to be taken care of. Otherwise, we are harming the future. R is what? Huh? Respect is good, yeah. Responsible. Resourceful. A teacher should be resourceful. He has to, for example, just like I was saying, 1 hour I'm teaching means I have to have a lot of way of gathering the information. And even though I'm presenting 1% of it, but I have to. One of the beauty of I am being a teacher, I said it in my presentation of pre-marriage seminar in Karachi, about 800 youths were there, girls and boys, 10, 12 years before, 2012, and 2002 I think. What I'm presenting to you, while I was getting married, I didn't know nothing about it. So you should be happy and be proud. The times has changed so much. Now you have a lot of resources to learn. So that it is in English available. Those who are getting married, I think you should recommend. It is in Urdu available. Post-marriage, present, and pre-marriage. Why I did it? Because being service to the community, I have more than 400 cases. Was dealing many. Afterwards, I said, I cannot eliminate the problem. At least we can minimize the problems. How can we minimize? By doing some. Majority of the parents, majority of the girls, they don't know nothing about religion. So I think it's very good to be resourceful, inshallah. I think I give a little bit break and come back again. Assalamu alaikum. While I'm giving break, if you have any questions what we were talking about, please feel free to talk about it. Don't think because Baqri said it, I have to accept it. No, it's not there. That is not the purpose. We are learning it from each other. Yeah. If you want to write it down. If you want to talk it down.
If you have any questions, just write it down.
जी जी जी
तेरह साल टीचरों को सताया है, बाकी 13 साल बच्चों को सताया है।
अब आपका नंबर है भाई, बच्चे आपको
बताने वाले हैं।
Yeah, that's very good question. This is good question, sisters and brothers. What are the limits of choosing a teacher? For example, maybe he's not that much religious. How much we can say that we can give room? You see, our purpose is to bring up the students towards Islamic values. So main goal is, if a person has ability and he can present our subject, for example, someone is not that much religious, so-called, but he is good in presenting history. So we bring him history. I'll give an example. One of our teachers we had in Toronto, we had 800 students. And one of the teacher was a history teacher. He's a beautiful history teacher. He is to teach history. Between he is to say Messiah. One day someone asked, what do you think of the meat of Jewish and just what do you call it, kosher and Christian? He said, jokingly, he said, if with Bismillah one goat can become halal, a boti also can become. So what we have seen him, they came to me, Maulana, what can we do? I said, write a letter. First condition, you are a historian, stick to history. Number two is not to indulge in fiqh masail, because that is not your profession. Well, later जाने के साथ once it has reached, he said, I don't want to teach. I said, yeah, that's we wanted that. You don't want it. So we have to give room at the same time. We have to give choices also. So if someone is good, give them room. But if they are going beyond that, then you have to control it.
Sir, from the admin point of view, I think what you started with was about Muawiyah ibn Yazid, that a teacher is in a position of influence to the students. So if we have teachers who are not visibly role models as well, इस तरह से आपने कहा गाड़ी के बगैर है या फेल से आप खातून है या अभी हमें if we have knowledge of a person whose Aqidah, we've got knowledge, maybe not confirmed knowledge. Aqidah is a bit about Shahadat Salih.
No, not only that. Aqidah itself is not a self-created thing. It is from the Quran and from Ahlul Bayt. If someone is teaching other than the norms of the parameters, which
no, but that teacher may not be out of what we are teaching right now. We don't have any proof that the teacher is not. But अगर हमें पता है कि वो
we should not.
We should not be with that. Even about dedicated teachers who we have heard about के मामला इस मामले में especially अकीदा जो आप हमारे कौम में लगी हुई है.
We should not, because anytime, anywhere, he is going to inject his ideology.
बड़े भी अगर भले वो छोटी
बिल्कुल
वो भी नहीं.
इसलिए कि one of the places how Batil has entered into our system, for example, the web of Judaism, exclusively Zionism, how it has entered. First thing, they enter into the classes. You can find a KG junior teacher from the Jewish community to the university level. So why they knew, okay, this is the best place to inject their ideology. So we have to have that kind of parameters. Yeah.
But we should not label people.
Yes, of course, we should not.
Some things are basically just admin team material. If we are not taking a teacher, we don't give reasons. And it's not against work with anybody. I mean, I as a principal have got responsibility when I have to hire teachers. Not hire doesn't mean that I have to pay them, but when teachers are there in the madrasa, they are responsible and they are committed to the madrasa. And I, as a principal, am committed to get. No doubt we got, alhamdulillah, very good guidance from Maulana Zaki Baqri. He is
Very capable person, yeah.
But as admin team, he's also got other commitments as well. I mean, he always helps. I've got no reasons to say he doesn't help us. But we're getting extra perspective from you, which is
Yes.
very helpful to us as well. Thank you very much.
Also, I am struggling
Yeah.
in the instruction of a teacher. As you said that if the teacher is not, a male teacher is not doing, we are not doing the job. So as the brother is saying that what we are thinking, the teacher should be a role model. So the student can easily read it.
Literature.
So probably if we allow a person who is not being here, for example, and a question can from a floor by a student, and this is harassment. So that this may be it will not give a good impression or correct impression of admin team that this selected a wrong person for a wrong job.
It is good, but at the same time, what I have seen the result in 35 years of our administration, the teacher, everything, that is many sisters, those who enter as a half hijabi or mud hijabi, they will change into 180-degree changes. And many teachers, those who enter as without beard, they learn more, because teaching itself is a method of learning. While I am entering to that, it might be changing. When we see the seerah of our beloved Prophet ﷺ, and it gives a lot of room to that ideology. So we have to give room. At the same time, we can have, for example, parameter is set in the administration point of view. And we can talk to that person. These are the parameters. If maybe you are not following outside, if you please, can you do in the classroom? So it might give good impression to the students in a good manner, in a good way. If that can be achieved, it's much more achievement in future. Inshallah, we have to pray for the hidayat of ourselves.
Would you like to take a break?
Yes, of course. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَهُوَ خَيْرُ نَاصِرٍ وَمَعِينٍ. The virtue of teaching, we were talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presents himself as a teacher. Ar-Rahman khalaq al-insan allamahul bayan. Even Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, بِالتَّعْلِيمِ ursiltu. I have been sent to teach. So teaching is a very respectable job, and it can give a lot of impact on the students. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, al-ulama baqun ma baqiya ad-dahr a'yanuhum mafquda wa atharuhum fil qulubi mawjuda. Ulama means not those who are wearing amamas. Ulama scholars. Scholars shall live until the universe, beyond the universe. It's eternal, they are eternal. Although their bodies, their houses has been perished, but their knowledge has been left imprints to the humanity. So a student can live longer, a teacher can live longer, eternal. So the work you are doing is a very beautiful work. Another hadith we have, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rahimallahu khulafai. May Allah have mercy upon my khulafa. Khalifa, there are two kinds of khulafa. One is the khilafa, which is man kuntu mawla fahada aliyun mawla. One is khilafa, in regards to the virtues of the prophets, those who apply, is a khalifa, just like a human being is khalifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if he reflects the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Faqila ya Rasulullah, someone asked, O Prophet of Allah, wa man khulafa'uk, who are those your vicegerents? قال الذين يحيون سنتي, those who make my sunnah live. So these are the khulafa. وَيُعَلِّمُونَهَا عِبَادُ اللَّهِ, and they teach to the servants of Allah. Goal of madrasa. What is the goal of madrasa? If anyone asks you as administrators, what is the goal of madrasa? Yeah.
Last week we were debating this thing. The conclusion that we come to is we want confident Muslims coming out of the madrasa who have the knowledge of Islam and the feel of Islam. That's what our goal is.
Yeah, good. Little bit. Okay, maybe a little bit tougher, but the purpose of the teaching, the majalis, when I go member, I have my own goal. When I go, I have something in my mind. These 5 days, I have to leave something for this audience, those who are with me. One is Abid. One is Abd. What is the difference between Abd and Abid? Abd is servant. Abid is worshipper. The challenge of member, masjid, mihrab and madrasa is not to create abidin, to create abd. Because when you create abid, it could be possible after few months, few years, that his ibadahs maybe, for example, I recited a majlis about the virtues of namaz shab. So some of that is, oh my God, so beautiful. I recited a majlis about learning about Arabic. A group of people, they came, Maulana, we want to learn Arabic. Bismillah. When we started, full of students. After 6, 7 classes, dropouts. Then Halmin Nasser and so 1 or 2 left out. So because I created Abedin, I never create Abd. Abd is servanthood. And the goal of madrasa is not to create Abedin, to create Abd. How can we do it? For example, many a times at dinner table, this is the norm of our society. Yaar, kitni sarpodi kar raha hu main. What I'm doing, so much work. I left India, Pakistan for you. I am here for you. It's a complete shirk. It's nothing, there is no tawheed there. I struggling this, what you have food, it is because of my struggle. So, it's total shirk. So many people, they are struggling, they cannot reach to 1 day meal. By your struggling, nothing is going to come. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, huwa raziqul mateen. Inna Allah yarzuqu man yasha'u bighayri hisab. So I have to, while I'm teaching, while I'm nurturing, right food has to be there on the table. Right food is what? I have to be a dietitian. Mother has to be a dietitian. What do you mean by a dietitian? It's not how tasty is food. I mean, oh my God, so yummy in my tummy. But so yummy is good, but so is it healthy or not? So while I'm presenting on the table the food, healthy food, I have to present healthy tawheed in my children. When I read when we go into the little bit detail of the Aimam Masumeen and go to the ulama's history, when I see Imam Khomeini, rahmatullah's history, if I do majlis and one person change, oh Maulana, aap kamyab ho gaye. This person, how much ikhlas he had. When we see his utterance, then we know. इन तहव्वुली के दर ईरान पैदा शुद, इन इनकलाबी के दर ईरान पैदा शुद, हमा अस्ताफ खुदा است. In the revolution, what has been taken place here, in changes among the minds of humanity in people of Iran, it is because Allah wanted. That is creating abid, not abid. It's totally saying there is no credit to me and no one. Everything is because it is in the reality. When we see the history of Imam Masumin alayhi salatu wasalam, see the recite the du'as of Imam Sajjad, total communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, total abdiyah, ubudiyah. Servanthood is the essence of humanity. There is a very beautiful book we were talking about this morning from Imam Sadiq. It is related to Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, that is Misbah al-Sharia. It has been translated in English also, beautiful translation. Lantern of the Path. It's available on alislam.org. I think if you teachers should read, but you need a teacher for that, even for first sentence to understand. The first sentence is Al-Ubudiyatu Jawharatu. Al-Ubudiyah, servanthood is the essence, Masum says, which leads to Godhood. जिंदगी बंदगी से शुरू होती है, खुदाई तक का सफर. And we have been told now and again and again, in majalis, वो मौला अली हम कहाँ, वो बीबी फातिमा हम कहाँ. So we put aside, and we are something else, they are something else. So if that is the case, why every morning in the Fajr prayer, Allahumma ahyini hayata Ali ibn Abi Talib wa amitni mamata Ali. Oh my Lord, let me live life of Imam Ali. Let me die death of Imam Ali. This dua is telling me become Imam Ali. Allahumma ahshurna ma'ahum. Wala raise us with them. What it means? It means you act like them. And this is telling me not to. Someone asked Ayatollah Brujardi, how did you reach to this place? He said, I wanted to become Imam. I reached to this place. I wanted to become Imam Ali. It seems strange for us because we never heard these things. And nowadays, Noha is this. Live like Ali. It's a wrong sentence. I'm sorry. I said it. That means one Imam's life is for me an example. Another's death is an example. No. Live like Ali, die like Ali. Live like Hussein, die like Hussein. Their entire life is, for me, is a parable, an example, as an ideal. What has happened? We made an ideal to idol. Sorry to say that. This is a very wrong, very difficult question. I can only talk to you, I cannot say on the member. We made an ideal to idol. Imams were our ideal. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Copy them, copy them. وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Whatever he gives you, take it. Whatever he says, no. In Eid Namaz, we recite this dua. Allahumma adkhilni fi kulli khairin adkhalta fihi Muhammad. What is it? I want to enter the same entrance of Imams. I want to get out of when Imam is getting out. So, the goal of all madrasa, the majalis, the institution which is catering to the needs of so-called religion, quote and unquote, everything should be religion. That's why, alhamdulillah, amalgamation of the university to the Hawza was so important. Now in Iran and Qom,
The ulamas are going in the university teaching, and teachers of universities coming and teaching the Hausa. So they have to have this understanding. It's Hausa is not something else, and university is not something. Everything, if it is working to create ubudiyya and abdiyya, to make the humanity as a abd, servant of Allah. Why it is so important? If that aqidah becomes so engraved in our system, what has happened, never going to be go exceed the limit. Today we listen to majalis so ghulu, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given restating to Ahlul Bayt, now Allah is retired. Astaghfirullah. Listen to him. And that, against that kind of concept has been fought by Imam Muhammad Baqir till Imam Hasan Askari. Because they were, those times, they were teaching. This kind of teachers were there. They used to say, Imams have all authority. No, Imams. That's why the beautiful ziyarat, how many of you, when you go to ziyarat, go with the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That ziyarat is ziyarat Jami' Kabira. Ziyarat Jami' Kabira is in-depth virtues of Ahlul Bayt, Fadail Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. Very beautiful. And we need some teachers to, before you go to ziyarat, because man zarana عارفا بحقنا وجبت له الجنة. The one who visits us, ziyarah is visiting the Imam. The one who visits us with the irfan of ziyarat, not marifat of ziyarat, the ilm of ziyarat, the irfan, deep knowledge of ziyarat, as if for him Jannah, him or her is Jannah is wajib. What is irfan of ziyarat? What was the purpose? What is the purpose of Imam Hussain? I have to understand. So that's why I'm very emphasizing, maybe a little bit time I'm taking, but it's not a majlis. It is a serious matter. When we are really teachers and we want to be good parents and good citizens of any country, but good citizens of Islam, so we have to create abd. Look at this ziyarah, which has so many fazail of Ahlul Bayt. I recited 3 years this ziyarah's portion in the birth of or shahadat of Masumin alayhi salatu wasalam. And still I could not finish. It's a huge ziyarah. That ziyarah, before you enter into haram of any Masumi, this ziyarah can be recited for all the Masumi. It should be recited. And stand there and say 100 times, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah. Why? Why Allah? Question is why 100 times Allah? Because after that, the sum of the sentence are going to be very deep. You reach to a point where it's a Bekam yunaddalul ghayb. Even the rain comes, it is because of you. And if this is not understood properly, that's why Imam says, before you enter, you have to acknowledge the might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you become abd, you become ma'bud also. So that teaching has lacked. That teaching has been taken away. And nowadays, alhamdulillah, things are changing because religion of Islam is religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has promised Himself, and it is going to be protected. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. This system will overtake all the system. There is no doubt about it. And for today, the Maktab Ahl Bayt has a lot of chances to cash in the system. We have so much beautiful knowledge. None of any communities they have. If any Sunni scholar comes to our majalis, he says, this is it. I was in Botswana, a small country beside South Africa. 3 days, one of the Sunni scholar and very wealthy businessman, he said, now I'm enjoying the ulama, Shia ulama's tafsir. Our ulama, they don't know nothing about it. This is still Sunni. So we have to give room, we have to understand our capabilities, we have to inject to others what Ahlul Bayt has taught us. This is in my brackets. So I hope, inshallah, one of the goal of the madrasa to create abd. What is the meaning of how to create abd is, while we are talking, starting Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. now and then using the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah give you knowledge. May Allah give us knowledge. Injecting this is very important. Tawheed amongst us has a lack of. We taken away Tawheed, we have put something else that itself is close to shirk. So we need to work in that. If we work on that, then the question of Shahadat Salis, everything becomes null and void. Because Ashhadu anna Muhammadan, say it, Abduhu first. That shows Abdi Isa. And Imam Ali says, I am servant of the Prophet. And Abidum min Abad. I am Abid, I am little servant of the Prophet. And we are presenting Imam Ali something Superman, astaghfirullah. That is, Imam has not taught us. If we can inject that our job is to create abedin, not abedin, abd, ibadullah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna ibadi laysa alayhim bisultan. Shaitan says, I will going to misguide everyone. Allah is so proud of his servants. He says, Inna ibadi laysa alayhim sultan. You cannot do nothing to this, my ibadi. And who are these ibad? Those who understand the system of the time and challenges. How to create interest among ourselves and our students. This is also a challenge. Because many a times it seems repetition is a lot. Isn't it? For example, from KG Junior we learn Allah is one, Panjtan Panch, Imam Bar. Then we go higher, name of Panjtan, and name of the Imams, name of the Masumin. We go on and on. While a teacher who is teaching in a classroom about Panjtan, instead of talking about Ya Allah, Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali, Ya Fatima, Ya Hassan, it has been taught by her parents, by the parents of the children. We no need to go a lot of emphasis. We can sit with them and chat with them, give stories of the Imams and the Prophets. Because at that age, they love to listen to the stories. And if we can do from the madrasa, and one of the things, if some of the sisters, some of the brothers, if they are agree, they can go for 6 months training in Iran, in Qom. This is a beautiful training that gives how to teach Quran in sign language. It is not sign language, it's A'udhu Billah, A'udhu Billah Minash Shaitan. So because that age of 5 and 6 and 7, they don't know wordings, they know signs. So it is beautiful teaching, the method of teaching they came up. And my daughters, they learned it, and my 2 daughters, they know it's very beautiful. And I think one of the best resource will be is beautiful resource for the students, for the madrasa, inshallah. And if you can sponsor this from the madrasa, it's good. It's because we are not planning what is the goal, short-term goal, mid-term goal, long-term goal. What is the short-term goal of madrasa? What is the mid-term goal of madrasa? What is the long-term goal of madrasa? We don't know nothing. So our goal is, we don't know. I am also with you. I'm not saying this madrasa. I go all over the world. Sometimes we have to use the spirit of love of Ahlul Bayt in a positive way. Let me give you an example. In my village in Alipur, my father used to do Majalis of Bibi Fatima Zahra. Now it is 100 years, more than 100 years. I go every year. This is going to be this year from 1st March, inshallah. People come from all over India, even some outside, more than 35,000 Mu'mineen. And 5 days, everything is available. Lodging, food. At the time, I started doing work for a hall, a place of center for this.
The first name started Azakhana Zahra. After 1-2 years, I changed the name. It's a Daru Zahra. What makes two different things? One is Azakhana Zahra, another is Daru Zahra. Is it different? Yes, it is. Azakhana Zahra, maybe once in a 4 days, 5 days majalis. Daru Zahra is 24 work, 24, 7, 24, every day. So we brought the teachers to give some of the incentives and also some of the skills developed because of a village. So they give teachings on how to sew shirts and etc. Alhamdulillah. Now I am turning into the university, inshallah, with the help of Allah. First thing we are starting the correspondence course with the University of Bangalore, and next our goal is, inshallah, that becomes teacher architect, because majority of the girls, they cannot go. In Alipur, the very early age marriages, 16, 17, 18 girls, and boys are 20, 22. So we don't have much, 24, 23 boys, we don't have, all are married. So these girls, they want to learn. What we did, instead of saying, no, don't get married. Get married. While you are there, in same village we have the system, you learn it. So what I am presenting here, same spirit of Azakhana Zahra has changed into the education of Bibi Fatima Zahra. So same spirit of Majlis can change into, so why our parents are not interested in madrasa? Majority of parents, they think that's how my job is finished. I brought in my children. That's much finished. I think in Majalis, in Khutbat Juma, for example, when is the year starts? Where years?
With the academic year in February.
In February. So the best time is in January, Khutbat of Juma. Ask Maulana to cooperate and give us some of the insight for the audience. Importance of madrasa itself, importance of the religious knowledges. And in Majalis also, it creates something in the interest of the parents. And for example, yesterday we had Majlis of Isal Sawab. Majlis Isal Sawab, we have to cash it in. That is the beautiful time. We recite what? Suratul Yasin. Instead of reciting Suratul Yasin, let them recite one ayat of Yasin and doing tafsir of Yasin. So same spirit, we are changing into the knowledge. So we need to change this madrasa as to place of knowledge by creativity. The 5-year-old needs a lot of stories. So 5 to 7 years, till 7 years. That's why we have hadith 7, 7, 7, 7 last time when I came, the upbringing of children, I have presented majalis here. 7, 7, 7. What is 7, 7? First 7 years, they are sardars. Give them love. So that hadith has to be implemented here also in madrasa. 7 years, no shouting, no nothing, only love. Play, laugh, let them do in the same environment. And a lot of rhymes nowadays available. In English, rhymes are available. So we use that as they love to sing, they love to say the names of Ahlul Bayt is there, and at the same time we are teaching. After 7 years, once the kid is 8 years, one responsibility comes it is wajib upon parents to teach them the salat. So parents are not doing that much job. So we have, the madrasa has a challenge. By 7 years, every child is aware of salat. Awareness of salat is 2 types. One is, and the kid knows Surah Al-Hamd, Qul Huwallahu wal-Asr, Subhana Rabbil Azim wa bihamdi, all the namaz. But we parents also know Allahu Akbar, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ghar mein tomato nahi, ande nahi hai. So that's our brain is that. That's how it is. Our namaz is that way. Because we don't know Arabic. Do we know? We don't know. So what we have to do? So I created a small book. If you want, you can print it from our website, albayan14.com. Understanding the Quran, understanding namaz. There are 135 words in 4 rakat namaz. 135, that's my interest. You can make it more than that. 135 is a number of the Fatima Zahra. So that's why I said this is 135. And 41 to 42 sentences. So I think by that time we have to teach this book. So every student should know their salat. Not only they memorize the salat, when they recite they know Bismillah, meaning of Bismillah, Rahman al-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, etc. By doing that, you are releasing some of the burdens of the parents, and also you are gaining your goal. Sometimes we might say so many things at the age of 7, but very important thing Sharia is saying, parents have obligation on the child to teach the children at the age of 7. And even the word punishment is there. Punishment is not slapping, taking away. What do we say? Facility, no, taking away there is a good word. No, don't say iPads. It could be something. Privileges. Yeah, beautiful word. Taking away from them privileges. 1 hour. If you do this, this is the gift. If you don't do this, you will get this. So that makes much more effective teaching rather than any slap or something. So 7 years, Hadith says, the parents have to teach their children their salah. What is the meaning of salah? It is not only the wordings we have to teach, student has to know, teachers ourselves have to know. I think one of the good things which I learned myself while I'm teaching, I learned so much. When I started working on pre-marriage seminar, I had so much material, about 18 hours. I said, who is going to listen Baqri? 18 hours of crash course, nobody's going to come. So I crashed into 7 hours. So then 7 hours of pre-marriage and 7 hours of post-marriage. Likewise, I think at the age of 7, we have to concentrate on the salah. While we are concentrating on salah, the fiqhi masail of, just like muqaddamat salat, shara't salat, etc. Then you can expand it, but we have to concentrate on the salat itself. And I was giving hit one of the majlis. It is important. Allah never wanted us to offer only salat. Allah wanted salat to be offered as He wanted. I opened the tap, running water, gallons of water. I'm doing good. Allah says, I don't want your namaz. Get out of here. Why Imam Zain al-Abidin was shivering, he about to say, Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. How easily we say in Jihad. Imam was shivering. Labbaik. So companion said, what happened, Maulana? Say Labbaik. Allah. What if from there says, loud? Don't come to me. That is the understanding. So that is the consciousness we have to create. God consciousness. So if I am careful of water, I am careful of food also. I am careful of others' money. So that is how I am creating abd, not abd. Islam never wanted abdi ata'ani hatta aj'alaka mathali. Hadith Qudsi. Oh my servant, obey me. What is the meaning of obey me? Or worship me? Is it quantity? No, it is quality. Or worship me to extent I will make you like me. Ana hayyun la amut. You will be high, you cannot be dead. You will be eternal. So that is not a theory. It is a practical. It can be done. We have to do it. How can we do it? We have to ourselves. I have to understand myself. So from 5 to 7, lot of stories, lot of rhymes. From 7 is very important to teach the students the Sharia part, and then you can slowly start teaching about, in the story form, the histories. History, one time I'm presenting history, for example, pre-Islamic history.
It's a very torturous history, but at the same time, that pre-Islamic history can adapt to today's life. People used to bury their newborn baby girl alive. So everybody stood. What is she said? Yeah. Today also same man. Where is Maulana? Even in Australia. Where? Yes. At that time, after the birth, they used to bury. Now, before the birth, that fetus on the day of judgment, بأي ذنب قتل. But I made mistake. Why did you kill me? So creating the human values is the challenge. Abd is human value. Becoming Abd means human value. Becoming Abd means good human being. Imam Khomeini's interpretation of Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, wala make me human being. What does that mean? About make me human being? A horse is born as a horse. Youth as a horse, dies as a horse. A camel born as a camel. Youth as a camel dies. A human being is born as a human being. Did he die as a human being? Yawma tubla sarair, on the day of judgment, entire system will be appearing because I was something. So one of the our teacher said, very beautiful. You know, sometimes we put mask. So after the death, one is removed. Something else in barzakh. Then it is removed, something else on the day of. I hope, inshallah, what unique teachers need is every 3 months there has to have workshop. That workshop should be, one is catering to the techniques of the teaching. Maybe Australian guy, white guy can come, good can come, nothing wrong. Only learning techniques of the teaching and adapting how can in a short time we can teach a lot of things. If any of our sisters they have learned, is good. If not, we can bring, nothing wrong. We do bring. Second thing is very important also. That is, the morals has to be for me. I need someone teacher. Shahid Mutahari, Encyclopedia of Islam, he says, we used to go Thursday night, Imam Khomeini's Dars Akhlaq. It used to be so deep, we used to shiver. And the impact of Dars teaching on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was fading out. And Tuesday, Wednesday, we felt we need another booster. We are human. فَذَكِّرْ إِنْ نَفْعَتِ الذِّكْرَى سَيَذَّكَّرُ مَنْ يَخْشَى وَيَتَجَنَّبُهَا الْأَشْقَى الَّذِي يَصْلَى النَّارَ الْكُبْرَى ثُمَّ لَا يَمُوتُ فِيهَا وَلَا يَحْيَى. It's a constant reminder. So we need teachers, someone from ulama, scholars. Not necessarily he is present here. Nowadays, online classes can be done. So someone who is checking me up and giving me right, okay, here is you are doing this wrong. So that makes a lot of changes in ourselves. And while you are going higher, the problem is going to be higher, exclusively teenagers. They are very, very disturbing time from after 12 to 19, it is teenagers. How we can make it interested? One of the things I was talking to Hussain also, that if we can create an app, for example, what I'm teaching today in my classroom, it is already in the app. So we use same thing to benefit the religion. We give him or her, open your phone, and this is the teaching which I'm doing. So that makes same material so interesting, because and also that energy which is going into this, taking it as a positive. I think we can do that also. If your app is not there, at least we can nowadays everywhere, Wi-Fi is there, connection is there. We can say, today we are talking about Tawheed. Let's see resources of Tawheed today in the Google. So the kids are so much interested. They are always talking about Google and here's some answers. They are very, very happy. Then Google comes, many Tawheed. So who's Tawheed? Let's go to Tawheed of Ahlul Bayt. So what you are doing, two things. Why they are searching, they are learning. And number two, you are telling this same resource can be used positively. Yes, inshallah. I hope inshallah all of us, may Allah give us spirit. May Allah give us, I hope everything has been said only for sake of Allah subhanahu. If I have hurted you, sorry. Wassalamu alaikum.
Maulana sir will take questions for another 5 minutes. If you've got any questions, please. Yeah.
Maulana sir, how you are handling the issues, for example, same-sex marriages and drug issues among the youth and madrasa?
You see, we have to create, as I'm saying, abd not abid. We have two choices of life. What I teach when I teach Tawheed, it's a very beautiful question. Worldview, it's a deep question. I need to go a little bit and let you go, give you some insight about it. There are two kinds of worldview. And I have to choose one of the two. I don't have anything to choose both. No. I'll either take this one or that one. One worldview is materialistic worldview, another is spiritual worldview. If I choose materialistic worldview, I lose spiritual. So there are two domains. One is matter, another is spirit. Either I go in the domain of matter, either I go spirit matter. This is existing in the Quran also. The two sons of Hazrat Adam story. In the Holy Quran, 286 stories, beautiful resources. Quran itself. Qasasul Quran, read the Qasasul Quran. And best tool for the teaching also. Two sons, they present their sacrifice. One sacrifice has been accepted and the other was rejected. The rejected one says, La'aqtulannaka. Indeed, I will kill you. If two kids of mine are, and they are siblings, they are fighting, I will kill you, man. The other says, I will smash you. That's how the kids are, they are responses. But this here, two sons of Hazrat Adam, one says, I kill you, another says, I cannot kill you. Why I cannot kill you? Inni akhafullah rabbana. My hands are tight, your hands are loose. Terrorists, all terrorists. Shia is not terrorists because our hands are tight. We cannot kill innocent people. Here also Quran is presenting two ideologies. One is materialistic, kill today also. America was kill. And there is no morals. Islam says, now you have to be, if you give one life to one person, as if you have given life to entire humanity. So that, creating that is very important. Well, even Prophet Muslim says, Laysa minna man taraka dunya li akhirati. He is not amongst us the one who leaves this world for the akhirah, who goes on the musalla, that's day and night. He is not amongst us. And the contrary, Laysa minna man taraka al-akhirah li dunya. He leaves the akhirah for only butter, bread. Who is minna? Man akhada jamiya. The one who takes dunya and also akhirah. In the case of the choosing domain of spirit, there is a room for the dunya. In the case of dunya, there is no room for spirit. That is.
Related to some teachers in the teachers, that's different.
What are the responsibility of us as a teacher? Just like brother was asking, when I am teaching, brothers, I'm teaching presenting to the students, for example, same gender marriages. Why it is haram in Islam? Give a hypothesis. I was in the plane. An American was sitting beside me. We started charting 14 hours flight, charting, and this subject came. If you are a Muslim, prove me. I said, I asked for the tomato juice. I said, this is the juice in front of me. If I have 0.1 chances of doubt, it is going to create me a cancer. Should I drink? He said, you should never touch it. So hypothesis is correct. Then, if this system of same gender marriages is going to be collapsing entire system of marriage, what is going to happen? It is collapsing. Already 10% there, and 10% they are taking over all the 90%, and they are 10% are active. Even there are ministers, the MPs, even now prime ministers. So I have to create, I have to give logical answers to this. And regarding the drugs, when we say haram, a student of high school in Toronto became Shia, Muslim. His friend, we always say this, peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. One is positive peer pressure, another is negative peer pressure. Why I'm afraid of negative peer pressure? Why not my positive peer pressure is injecting to the others? When it can be done, Quran says, Kuntum khayra ummatin. You create that superiority feelings. You are the best nation, Quran says. You are the best because you believe in Allah. You do amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. So because that ability you have, instead of you becoming affected by them, you affect. This kid became Shia. Why? This brother was a Shia brother with him, he became friend. He said, let's go to Friday tonight downtown and some fun, man. He asked, what fun? To club. He said, I cannot go, it is haram. Okay. Next day, while in the break, he started smoking. Let's smoke. He said, haram. Many a times he heard the word haram. This kid started asking questions. What is this word, man, haram can change you this much? You cannot do. Yes, I'm a Muslim. Haram means prohibited. I cannot touch. Then he says, I wanted to learn this. If one word can protect this much, create habit. वो इसीलिए जो है हम लोगों में love of Allah, قل إن كنتم تحبون الله, love of Ahlul Bayt, love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that changes. By saying this is haram, haram is not going to work. We have to create something else. Jia, there are other questions. I think time is finished. Yes, how to give a true concept of Allah. And you see, you have to see the level of the perspective of a child, and you cannot inject a lot by relating stories of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. We can give a little bit love. According to the age, we go higher and higher and higher. So for example, for us, Tawheed is not Tawheed what we learn, though. Tawheed is much more deeper. And we have to learn that Tawheed. What we are learning in madrasa, what we are teaching is a basic of Tawheed. There is an in-depth Tawheed is there. We need to learn. I don't have time. I'm also tired. Assalamu alaikum. Please, if you have any questions, I have sbaqri9 at gmail. SBAQRI9 at gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you.